Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about why women ghost you and once they do, how you can deal with it in a very comfortable way. Okay. So being ghosted is very normal. It happens to everybody. We've all been ghosted some time back. We are not going to talk about it today. But most of the time, it is somebody that just wants to stop communicating with you because they want to avoid a confrontation. They don't want to tell you and they don't want to explain why they don't want to, talk to you anymore. They are just done with you and it might be really heartbreaking, especially if you fall kind of deep into this relationship. So then when somebody disappears on you, you think, oh, what did I do wrong this time? Okay. But you cannot blame yourself because sometimes the reason is not even based around you. But since you don't know, you may act like, why? Did you do something wrong? Did you mess up somewhere you weren't aware of? Tip number one, it is convenient for them because they don't get to come and explain and talk to you the reason why that happened. Okay, she's going to avoid any confrontation. It is easier for them that way. Even in their mind, they may think it is not easy for you, but for them, it is way easier. Okay. Tip number two, negative interactions with the partner. Maybe because they had a bad experience with you, my guy, or an encounter, they don't want to, talk to you anymore. That is a choice, right? I mean, when you are dating, some people are just going to like you, others are not going to like you, and others are most probably going to just ghost you. It is what it is. I'm just saying. Tip number three, it might be due to loss of interest. Okay. It looks terrible when you lose interest in someone. It's just like they don't want to hang around with you anymore. It's like they are wasting their time, hanging out with somebody that they think is not interesting anymore, right? Tip number four, the state of the relationship. Where are you guys are in your relationship? Are you, close to becoming, great, or are you guys just, dating? So for instance, how close are you with this person? Or you guys are not all that close? If you guys are not all that close, usually they may tend to what? Ghost you because the relationship is on a surface level. If it is, that's what's going to happen. Tip number five, safety. For a lot of women, reason could be that they don't feel safe around you. But I guess it can be for men as well. Okay. If she says she's not, safe around you, please don't pamper her. It is time you let her go. But what I'm saying, most guys are going to hold on to it till it gets messy for the longest. Okay. You saw it coming, bro. You just didn't want to acknowledge the red flags just because you liked her or whatever the case was, right? Safety is pretty obvious. It can be that sometimes people don't have empathy to give you closure to explain to you what happened. They don't want to have any argument with you because they know you are not going to be okay with that. They know you are not going to let them go. They are going to have to explain themselves. And some people just don't care or, have the decency to give you reasons. It is going to be harder to get over with, but you have to get over with it. And the best way to look at this is you just have to move on. And for some people, they just put their emotional state before yours, right? Which could be, termed as selfishness. But if it's not going to be hard on them and they just don't want to deal with it, they just don't want to deal with it. And you have to accept it. So here's how to deal with, being ghosted. Again, I also think that ghosting people is a sign of immaturity. So when you think about it, you need to realize that it wasn't about you. And for them ghosting you without giving you an explanation is more about them, okay? And it's more of a reflection of what they do. So yes, it's going to hurt, especially if you were, heavily involved. You really like this girl and stuff, but what you need to realize is that maybe, just maybe, that girl wasn't the right girl for you. So think of, finding somebody that fits you, somebody that you can find true love, and somebody that want to actually have the, capacity to communicate when there is something that bothers them. Okay, just putting that in your mind is going to, attract the type of person you want. You are not even going to think about that one girl that ghosted you ever again, right? So tip number one, give yourself time and permission to grieve. It was painful unless of course you didn't invest your time and energy and probably your life. So it is painful, but it's okay to feel bad about it. Okay, my guy, it is okay to grieve a little. Just grieve a little. You'll be fine. Tip number two, don't take it too personal. You may not know what happened, right? She didn't explain herself to you. Move on. It wasn't you, unless, of course, like I said again, you did something bad which you are aware of. Okay. Tip number three, it is okay to pour out. What I'm saying is discharge, what you are going through to a friend and a family member, right? It always feels good to, release a burden a little bit. I know you shouldn't be explaining yourself so much to people because in exchange, some people are just going to listen and do nothing, whilst others are also going to, grieve with you and give you a little bit of advice. People actually don't like to share their personal grievances. I personally don't like to do that either. But the people that you do trust and that you enjoy talking to, you can confide in them and possibly get some help from them. It best helps. Tip number 4, maintain your mental and physical health. Okay. You got to feel good about yourself no matter the situation. Okay. So you can, go for a workout so that I can get the energy that releases and end things. Okay. So hopefully it makes you feel good. So just go do it. Number 5, go on dates. Just go on dates. Meet new people and just, figure out that she wasn't all of that. Okay. She was good before her and is going to be good after her. You are going to, meet people. You are going to meet the people that are right for you. You can also look for ways to grow and don't blame yourself that much. Fine, maybe you did something that was, a turn off and maybe you realized what you did. And it's actually something you need to change a little so that it doesn't happen ever again. If that was the reason she ghosted you, ask yourself, if you actually ignored any red flags, you could just, talk to her. And if she still doesn't want you back, the least you could do is to talk, in my view. So now view this rejection as a blessing in disguise. She removed herself so you could find the best, right? I mean, the person that you actually like, somebody that you are going to, vibe more with. And that's all we need in our lives, right? Tip number 6, remember your grief when you get into your future. You're about to break up with someone, okay? That gives you some type of what empathy. You were kind of messed up when that lady did that to you. So now that you are entering into a new date, or now that you are dating this girl and you are not really feeling this girl, you may give her the decency to kind of explain to her why it's not going to work between you two. Okay. It's a little hard for a lot of people to, be honest and direct, but that's what I recommend so that people cannot go and hate you for something. Okay. Not saying that you should care if people hate you, but it is better if nobody hates you. You always have to find a balance so that this girl will never be able to say something bad about you. Okay. It just didn't work out. And you told her you couldn't keep on what? Talking to her. And that was it. So just be honest. Seriously, at the end of the day, just be honest. Don't be mad at them. But just move on. Move on with your life and find somebody better for yourself. This is what I have for you today. My name is Sagdad. See you in the next one. Adios.